Today na the 21st day of April 2022. 6 more days for go. Then Sierra Leone go old 61 years. Today na the Judiciary of Sierra Leone. Now with the Leone at table. Lawyer Augustine Sori Sengemara, after the election 2018, he became the Inspector General of Police na court. He carried police na court. Because, if you remember well, police on election day be ban all vehicular movement na the country. Police say nobody not for go up and down with motoka. What me uncle can say mantoka. No mantoka not for go up and down unless you are accredited to do so. If not, go vote to say the vote, come back na you us can sit down. At that time, police been they tell we say, well, now for put things in order. Now I make them be get for do that. For say, no vehicular movement. Vehicular movement is banned until we want go up and down with mantoka. You get accredited for do so. You get pass for do so. Well, la so he Sengemara, it not be go down well with him. It be think say the IG back then, when I be Dr. Richard Moigbe. Yeah. We don't know now Usain be getting yon from. So we don't know because the way in left come out today, na IG Michael Ambrose Sovola cam. So I think say Dr. Richard Moy baby don't set the pace so high that any IG now they come for try forget that doctor before he name. So it look like say where Dr. Richard Moy come out, where IG Ambrose Sovola cam. He say no, he need that doctor because doctor na incommode. So maybe somehow perhaps I'm not saying that's so it be, but look inside it no more. Just look inside it. Maybe I make, IG Michael Ambrose Sovola go na Dominion first in our work. He come out today, he go agu. Ah well, the rest, it is what it is. Let's continue. So Dr. Richard Moigbe, when I be the Inspector General of Police by then, been past this one. Because waiting do, he say now all the strategy where police they put in place. Like I said, we activists, Augustine Sorisenge Maya, we himself na lawyer, say no, Dr. Richard maybe not get right for self for doing. Are you one green inside the country? You they can't pass that kind of law. You say, well, let's test the system. So, it been tested system inside 2018. Can go court. Well, you go say, better late than never. Then say, justice delayed is justice denied. Okay, but justice don't enter now. So you want to see? Because they don't get the justice, but you got to listen well. But what me can see on this whole thing, Judiciary is alone, it be they make rounds courtesy of the Africanist press. Yes, the Africanist press make it all eye turn to judiciary alone. Then say, then pull details of the rent allowance where the judges them and the judiciary they receive. Make a shock, you know. The Chief Justice, this is according to African Express too, no can say just no na Tripoli a big. African Express, and they say this. They say the Chief Justice, Desmond Edwards, they receive now for rental allowance 196,800,000 leons. Yeah. You are again back? You know, tell me so you know your just now. 196,800,000 leons. And are the Chief Justice. Yeah, Justice Alusain say they all in at the 98 million. Then for them yeah, the Chief Justice. So the Chief Justice is knocked them down by almost 100 million. No, na per year, like not be per month there. Eh? Na per year. 196 million. Justice Alusain say in they get 98,400,000. All the other hand them. I want to look for the one we do the ruling and for this one. Well, look like say. Let's see, man. Rent allowance. 29 judges drawn from the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal and High Court. The average judge they receive 73,800,000 and 98,400,000 in rent allowance alone. The allowance here not include the salary, the medical benefit, the leave bonus, then transportation, and then travel related allowance, and also the per diem in no mixed day. African Express say, then Discover say, the rent allowance, excluding all the one I don't say so, of the Chief Justice when at Desmond Edwards, alone, and 196,800,000. More than twice the average rent allowance paid to other judge them. Now the chief, not for the year. Even the one who did some kick out. So they say they don't collate all the aggregate total rent allowance paid to the 29 judges. The sample list amounted to 2.8 billion leons. Then say that amount just the rent allowance we combine the monthly salary of 2,395 secondary school teachers there. Now that they pay 29 judges in Sierra Leone. The rent allowance it do for pay 2,395 secondary school teachers there in the country. Okay, other thing in the way they talk, but no one dive into that. I just want to show you people them we work this hard. You know, the need for the need for people who then they pay that kind of rent allowance they need for do something. That's also. So since that one they cannot do, in me under mind. In Tripoli in other mind. He thinks judiciary need say we need for do something. We really need for do something. We for eliminate this kind nemo they get soon on social media. We need for do something. So what's happen? The Supreme Court, what the person will be she done before, na Justice Brown Mac. Today, the 21st of April 2022, he don't give out in ruling. For say, that restriction on the movement of people them, during the 2018 election, where the police where the police been can talk say, me and you, we get man toka, not for the. I said that's what me uncle call her Yusuf. How it is so? We not for drive and go up and down that day when an election day. Would that be past this? The police, IG by then, when a Dr. Richard Moibe. This one, Justice Brown Mac say, insi aleke fose, na voter suppression. 1. Voter suppression. He say na so he see am. He say when watch inside the Constitution, the ban was unconstitutional. Why make he say it unconstitutional? Listen, no. Listen, yeah. The ban be unconstitutional because the ban not be get any legal authority by other parliament, because now parliament they make laws. Parliament will be pass an act or a statutory instrument for this particular ban. Say people not for go to motoka up and down. Waiting this paragraph the time for tell we. Say yes, out of own policing strategy, Dr. Richard Moibe thinks say, you know what? Let's stop all motoka then. Pass Uda accredited for do so. Pass Uda get pass now for do. You know go parliament too. For go tell parliament say the way how they see this thing they make so on election day. Now this one do. But that time they do he win. But this time around, Augustine Sorisenge Mara Esquire, now he don't win now. Because he can't go court, and the Supreme Court, Justice Brown Mac say, he not being correct. If they want to do it now, it don't show the how for do it. You not be a waiter say. He said the ban be unconstitutional because he not be get anything for Timapa when a legal authority where parliament for don't do. It was wrong back then because not to parliament do am. We are happy because somebody care an institution, when a state institution, a court, and you win. But until they see what they see, he win because he no can go na parliament for me them pass to law or get a statutory instrument for say, well, for that day we want let this happen. So if they can go parliament now, my dear, you know what thing for be the outcome. But anyway, a win for one is a win for all. But in this particular case, we go say Augustine Sorisenge Esquire win. But now for we all, we then be banda they know for common as street for waka. Now we be take up on them. But they are so already now they don't begin test the system. It work per police. But something that because Dr. Richard Moibe not did it again. But anyway, it work. So still they carry Edsa go. Whose time would they carry Edsa? We need for carry it to go. Because they take money. We they pay in advance for blackout. So stuff for carry them go. Maybe you go woko. I'm just saying. But lawyer Soyisenge Mara begets a personal statement on the decision of the Supreme Court in the matter when became against the Inspector General of Police on the election day vehicular movement ban. Abu Conte say, he said the same way the IG been doing, the parliament be don't dissolve 6 months earlier. Because you know, say for meet-up election, you know, say parliament can dissolve. So it remind me, say, that 10 day, parliament be don't dissolve. Okay. So I guess the IG back then not be seen before then dissolve. All right. Let me listen now to waiting lawyer Soyisenge Mara saying. He said 4 years ago, I've been bring an action against the Inspector General of Police because it take by himself no more. He said they banned Mutuka during the last general election inside 2018. Say Mutuka not for go up and down na the country. He said, but today, the Supreme Court, they all agree, and rule say the ban where Dr. Richard Moibe be do that Sunday, he not get any parliamentary sanction, and therefore it was unconstitutional. He say even that one day, if they want look and ping, then can even hold the IG for an act of treason. Aye! Me foot, me head. Why? You get to say? I'll read them back. Okay, I will read them back because now you see. He say the Supreme Court say they all agree. Because waiting do this ban here will be happen, not get any parliamentary sanction, and therefore it be unconstitutional. And when they look and ping, now an act of treason. Then you look like that. I know that be they represent Dr. Richard Moibe. We go read that one day. Anyway, let's continue. And me right. That's na Layamara. He say, and me right, then violate them. When me movement, even with Mutuka, then restrict them. Okay. He say when you look am, this na small. But when you look am back, this na big win. For we governance. For say, citizen can able carry the state authority. Na court for something we then do. The action, protest, and all these other things them. Carry them go na court. He say, when you look the judges them, we sit down over this case na the Supreme Court, then show a promising rise for defining the occasion inside with governance journey. And the court look down the whole water for with democracy na salon. He say he only hope deep down in heart for say other judges them where they sit down pan case them not go afraid but for continue for point the baby light for make the one they we want for see who's how they go see fine. He said me from where small I like the word with the power national pledge. He say something there what they hear what are the common on me but loyalty to a nation I pledge and little by little by that small tier they get victory pa. Me I go continue for play my own part regardless of the tinada waking tima before we and the opposition then. And this thing go help for make we get a better republic. We go team up on the idea of democracy, human rights, and justice. So they tell Tenki, left handed because not to anyone. He tell Tenki to him father-in-law, Yada Williams Esquire, we na him team up. Say this one where this boy can go so we lawyer so he can go. It correct. And I go team up behind him. And he say he tell Tenki back. He appreciate to all man we support her na this journey. And we believe in this cause. Say the little what we all did do for make Salone go better. Augustine Sorisenge, Maria Esquire, lawyer and activist. Okay. So now, we don't hear you able to understand. We say parliament be don't dissolve, parliament be don't close. But then they not even make them right, say because parliament don't close. Anyway, even if parliament be don't close, it's unconstitutional. It no gets no backing from parliament. So for Dr. Richard Moibe, for just team up and say that the no more to kind of go up and down, pass would get pass, But I because parliament no pass amou, Now because parliament no pass. So if parliament pass now, it's not unconstitutional law. Okay? Alright. I just want to make you know that. See, it is unconstitutional because it not been passed from parliament. But if parliament pass and now say, election day, me and you, not for drive motor up and down, it's constitutional. Because now parliament, now they do that. Now they make laws. Okay. Now come to Smantoli. Make we hear waiting it gets for we on this one. Yes, Smantoli, welcome on board, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, for your comprehensive report and analysis on the issue of the ban, where they been banned, the movement of Motukadem during the past election winner 2018. And one thing we go wish for, we go wish say we dey get similar rulings in the future. We say then they challenge some of the institutions here. Now this now we own wish. Now this now we own prayer. Where somebody single-handedly they come out, it challenge one old state institution and take them to court and rule and win that case day. Now that's always what they wish for. And this now success for democracy. This now good thing for the rule of law. So we get for celebrate. And I go say kudos to the lawyer and the activist, when Augustine Suri Senge Mara, we actually take the police go na court. So this is a win for we all. This is very important. USAI institutions them and individuals then get for respect the rule of law and stop for the bastardized with constitution. Very, very important. And this we brought out on show so. Single-handedly take one old state institution go court and go get a ruling in your favor. And we want to see more of this to come so that some of them institutions here, some of their individuals here will stop for the bastardized with constitution. And make no mistake, listeners, the locus of strong institution, it depends on the fundamental principle of the rule of law and democracy. Where I read and they talk about strong institutions. Now where we get democracy, now where we get the rule of law, now we respect the rule of law. Because if we respect the rule of law, you go find out say we institutions them, then will be very strong. And here is a clear example. We say one old Inspector General of Police single-handedly come out, he banned the movement of motorcade in the country during the 2018 elections without the consent of Parliament. And clearly, AAA, you don't make it quite clear. Parliament are responsible for make laws, and any institution we want take thing when they inside the constitution are the responsibility for seek the authority of Parliament. If you not seek the advice or authority of Parliament, you do them, then it's unconstitutional, basically. And that's what they talk. Richard Mwebe, when are the former Inspector General of Police, he ought to know better. We know say police are the most powerful institution in the country in terms of peace, in terms of the law, in terms of, bringing tranquility in the country. So if we don't know, say, this particular action we take, so if we don't seek the authority of Parliament, if we don't get the backing of Parliament before it carry out such a measure. And I wish other rulings them where they therefore make against the government. I wish them for they make them tear against the government or the most powerful people in the government. One incident here they happen. I know we'll celebrate much AAA. The reason is we'll get some other outstanding cases in a court. We don't do it for so many years or for a very long time. We take today, they call them case then day. And the fact that I think you raised this point, we not say the former Inspector General of Police, they did it anymore. Maybe one can argue, say, now because they did it anymore, now make them do this ruling against them. Or maybe the government will be there in power then, where they institute this measure, maybe not in a power again. Now make the court get the bold mind for rule against that particular decision we didn't take that 10 days. One can argue so. And the ban, when the ban motorcar for move during election time, we go argue, say you get the propensity for hamper the freedom of movement. Because if you go ban people and for worker, just because of elections, one, it tantamount to hamper the movement of people, and the movement in terms of the principle of expression of freedom, for example. Yeah, the right for people and for vote, for example, it gets impact on all entity. I think say as an Inspector General of Police, he ought to know that. Because we young country, people can get for move from one place to the other. But again, you go argue AAA. Say the Inspector General of Police, it take the onus for do this because we all know how we country dey. People and they move from one place to the other during election time using their motorcar. We don't see that. Yeah? During election time, then they use motorcar them from one polling station to the other for go cause chaos. We don't see that. For example, one of the elections will be take place where they go destroy the boxes then. People and they use motorcar. Yeah, and they when are well-known supporters them. Some of them are even ministers, if you can remember. When they move, go to a police station from one police station to another for go cause trouble. Even the recent elections that will take place now, Cambia, other places there. Yeah? We see USA youth them, and they move from one motorcar to the other for go cause chaos. Maybe now that make the then Inspector General of Police look and say, you know what? Now why would they allow them for use motorcar, for move from one place to the other, now make them go and cause chaos? One can also argue that way there. But the bottom line is that when it comes the law, I think the law is supreme. You get to understand that. The law is supreme over common sense. I don't say we don't use the common sense, see? You know, with all the chaos here, we see so that then centers them, that then police station them, now streets and everywhere. Now, why would they allow them to move from one place to the other? Now make them go and cause all the chaos here. So if we stop them for use motorcar, it will be very difficult for them because during the 2018 election, as you say, AAA, now only accredited individuals them or people that wait and permit for move, use motorcar for travel from one point to the other. Now they no more than be allowed for move. Not so everybody them be allowed for move. So we'll be see a relatively peaceful one. But the point I'm making here is, although you don't use in common sense then, but the law is supreme over common sense. Where then cases are going to court, then they look at the law. What did the law say? The law permit this for let happen, or we not permit that. I think state now on that local state, on that ground state, now I make the judge rule in favor of the activist, the lawyer. We now Mr. Mara. Anyway, we see that this Western world, people and go vote quietly and commodity. So nobody no go give you, no go stop you for use motorcar for go do what you want for do. But whenever they say election of a country, now they tell you they see trouble. Now they tell you they see trouble. People then they use motorcar, use false number plates for go cause chaos. Although we criticize what in the IG do, but we get to look at the positive side of it as well. We're in a common sense. Yeah? We don't see that Boku people that they use false number plate in almost all elections the world don't see. Yeah? Always, most of the time. Then they use motorcar them. If they see somebody they come out from one district to the other, but just because they get that movement, it's on observer. where for most of them, they are not accredited. Then they move from one police station to another police station where they fit out. And they go all the way Bombali district for what cause trouble. I think says most likely on that basis, now make the Inspector General of Police then use your own common sense. Say, you know what? For stop all the nonsense here for the happen, for minimize the amount of trouble where they happen. So therefore, law will stop the movement of motorcadem from one for another city, or less people away accredited, such as NEC officials then, people away conduct the elections, people away, were nominated by their own political party. I think say now on that basis, the then Inspector General of Police use common sense for stop the movement of vehicle on that particular day. But as I say, listeners, it's about what the law say. So for conclude, Parliament now get the power for make laws. Anybody who want any other institution where one work with the law, you get for make sure say you follow what the Constitution say. You get for seek if you are not, you're not clear with the law, you get for seek advice. I think the then Inspector General of Police for don't seek the advice of legal-minded people waiting for doing that situation, rather than institute something when not inside the law. And I listened, somebody write a comment, say, Parliament be done close then. But even if that is the case, whether you anticipate in advance, say, this thing will happen, so before Parliament they close, so therefore, let's seek the authority of Parliament over this matter. Or you don't go out, you don't go down that route at all. Maybe you learn from it. Say maybe the next election we get for happen. This is not the way how then they make wise decisions then. Say this time round, we don't late for take this kind of measure because we need the authority of Parliament. We don't let this time round, but law take and say for the next election, we Parliament start, the next election we'll get for seek the authority of Parliament before ever we institute short measure. Now so institutions that where they operate on democracy, now so institutions them where they operate on the rule of law, now so then you do it. But we tire for the institutions them, people that we then call themselves the most powerful people in the state, then they bastardize the constitution. And this, as you say, AAA, a win for everybody. A win for everybody. And we hope, say, other people then go follow suit. I will stop here and give a chance to other panelists then. Thank you very much, AAA, and thanks to everybody who is listening.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you.
All right. If you just join me, welcome on board. A win for one is a win for all. And so me see this. Lawyer Augustine Soisenge-Mara became the previous Inspector General of Police, Dr. Richard Moibe. Now, court say he ban motorcar for waka on election day. And today Supreme Court, Justice Brown Mark don't give ruling and a rule in favor of Lawyer Mara. Let me come with Usfriend. Let me hear waiting in get for we. Welcome on board, Usfriend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot, AAA, and thanks to Mr. Usman Toli for his submission, and thanks to listeners and viewers. The issue we put on the table today is somehow they try for test. When I test of waiting the judiciary stand for in the country, now a test for even the government, how then they make laws and pass laws, and then an awareness call for the purpose of the policeman then. The awareness call of the policeman them for know how they go able for come up with within a bylaw, within a bill, or within a rule, or within they want for pass for sin and so on for do, how they will able for use the yardstick, one the rule book, one the Constitution Act, all man get yon. So now the test case for all of them sector there, and at least now the bodies and where we talk say now they make up the government, that then they show face show for fact. And then you get the people and we can inside and can test the system with the activists. So you find out say the police then get their own strategy they introduce. The process in overall the outcome of that process they work well in terms of the judiciary interpretation. Within the interpretation, so the law for say. So you see the process procedure now and waiting then they expect in the end of the process and the procedure facing a consultation. So that remind the purpose of the parliament in certain things and how they get for sit down. They know we just see then they go. And other than that department day for no say, me na internal affairs, or me na this, na me get for the look yonder, then me na the VP, me say get part for play, the allow get for the see, waiting they go on yonder, wait this then bring them, if they interpret the mirror of the law. But you cannot say they all not be no. But because of, as you say, certain reasons, and people will speculate, say, will go say focus and because of them to clear or them can't see this, or there's a one for sure the purpose of voting that they pay them for, or because of other pressures that will be they come from outside, we do not partners, and even from the public itself, the leadership they get from the public. So you find out that they try to reduce tension, they pull on their head, pull out the neck, they say you can't wear it now on a pay day. So now they try for this boss and say you get more part of it than the police. So you come back to the area where there are alternation that the government thinks for change so that they will be able to say will they alter this, will they do this, then your duty is tested. They find out say who's I hope they now you get for look to. So the civilians and they ask now whose side we get for look to. So now the activists don't test for we. Will they look to the police for letting go can put power? Or will they look to the law itself, say, let the police come, don't go to the law, you go able for say we. Or people then go look, say, well, the influence that are the government, so I will use the influence for let go get me way through. So because if the police then pass this law and they're not constitutional, and then people then when they go by a certain law again to some extent that they do one thing, then you see say that's one way then when they break the law for go say like what I told you, go broke book because there is influence where they get to the government. So the government you go find out say what thing I get for do now we get for put law. Now we get for no say this law go work. Or we talk to people and if the vehicle movement, they are going to constitution. But if we police, they can't tell we see the statistics where they for sure say malpractices they go on, violence they go on as a result of the movement of vehicle. Get the statistics that we show to the government, and then these are the cases where we're able to work out. Then we're able to present the case na parliament. So it become something where you come out to the point of that consultation. So you see, so there is a link going before 100 between all these parties before anything they go. We're not going to deny it because there are things where they happen with people and they move. But there is a need again for let people they move for go vote because some people they nobody vote because of the place where they ban their vehicle, they go there for care and go say they don't register. Now for people they say now try register. Say make you come back, I go legal or you work go say they go for go vote. So these are all the things they then get for put in structure. So it come back again to Uda, the so-called in charge of the election body for try for the look, say, that thing not so we law, not so we get for put law, not so we get for put conditions was vehicle enough for move, but we get again a saying, what we get for say, now, let they tell the people about this message, we will create less. So you find out the vehicle they move because of people in the common one place, all the statistics that you will get for the them. But if most of the time the statistics where they come from all the policeman will give statistics, but they're not going to try to give statistics who can't work for let things change. Then the judiciary they then go get those statistics going for let them just they make up law. And then they find out say the other institution will bring up this topic about election now. Then you get the statistics, but the statistics contain most times now statistics of of numbers, not to for sure the outcome when we're able to say, well, let we change this or let work to this. I'm not saying they are not doing it, but sometimes because of NTR, they come surface, you go only get for decide, say, well, that not being happen, because that being happen, then things they are not for the come. Then before on the show is it is a strategy where the government don't accept, now this don't accept, now if they do, because them don't can bring suggestions to now when they do all this election business and other things. Then. So you get for looks now, you as a parliament, you go for know what in a sanction where you get for say they bring. Let individuals, go take the law at the hand, then interpret, then it become a problem for them, more like a treason thing. When inside go meet the judiciary, they try to protect themselves. Because when the judiciary, then they get now that budget who then they give them so, because we know say that they try for the structure, they even structure the building, the other things, and the numbers, opening new sites, magistrate court, and so on. But the budget will immediately they give apart from even that one way they make them, but the budget will necessarily talk. What they pronouncing in the government again, they tell me about 100 billion leons. What are the budget? So, but I don't know if an ongoing budget, and I believe an ongoing budget, I don't feel it's right budget. Not like when they say then they put towards education, how many percent? But somebody, the owner, the spokesman, what recently talk about say now they want even more. But that's not just the budget. So honestly, the budget that one they wouldn't give them for the infrastructure, we then just shape among themselves. Say this should be our salary base. I'm not saying that is how it would be, because it would be like, see, I talk like my own understand, but who knows about the procedure of payment or the procedure of allowances, because these are allowances where they give to a certain thing. So only if I didn't budget time they go. But all I try to say, it comes down to process, procedure, and consultation. Then people then they become transparent, because transparency already now one of the theme where then they expect the government for work on, and then the judiciary for work on, and then the transparency back in terms of how the transparency and the police then get for assess that one day. For see, they pull this thing so that people then go able for know, or we don't pull this thing because we don't want people enough for know. But the transparency that more to do when the law comes, how they deal with them, because I think just always put the police under authority, and they put the government under that authority, say una cannot court or that we can make a decision. But if the authority they're not able to get them, for them to draw government in a court, or let them go draw their other sectorial like the institution of the police in a court, or to call other people that we concerned to court, then we give a judgment, we go able for help some things. In the final say there are things where the judiciary is there for do, but it all comes down to the integrity, how them go able for let go. Because when the hope what you like they get now go in it evaporate, it just a fly off. People don't even get that hope again. So then they try now for saying that when they bring the hope, they will calm down, they will understand say the hope will not get them for this. But there are many things in the air where they get for seeing, they bring down, let people then get for see them, they no go just don't go on the air, they no go know about it again. Then when one thing come, when they forget, they remain back as usual. So you see, but the only way government they get a boku, let them go try the delegate duties. Not only the beauty of the building, we don't try for, not only the numbers of modern they work, not only the facilities of vehicles when they give them and other housing things, but now the area now where they go structure as the substance of them where they go able for put. You see, you not to the person, because if you work at going to court and come, I forget about the distance. If you get the knowledge, you will perform them. But if the factor of you will get for do the thing once you don't get the capability. But again, it comes down to all constitutional laws. Because even when they talk, so there is a law, a clause where they hold us aside, where we say in the end, the government or the one way they're in charge of the government, because the parliament is separate, but the parliament they all make up. But the government of the day now will come for can pressure the parliament in terms of a law where somebody will say, me, I get the law, now me get for make the final decision, because now so the law give me that authority, see, now me get for pass them. Who not the leader of that government, do like the say the president or so. So you see, finance all lengthy, and I then get for try the voice to the government because they see them, they review them, then they call for them, then try to do this constitution, then we try to reach the final stage. Because the libel law, I believe, say what to make them succeed, now because you don't go far. It was just like something that we just need for polish and take over. And they were lucky in that side to get it almost finished and passing it, which is good for them. So, but maybe this constitution, now that they fear say because of it will affect them. Not only some people then go throw to the public say, now law what the truth. When you become a hero for some people, you throw to the public where you don't get control, you find out they get for suffer because that's not the law. Not so you the leader, or not so you the government participant they take place. Now these are the citizens and other divisions and when they put the police, set them fire and left them there and two together with citizen effect. But the point out therefore say, letting they bring policy in the way they are part of themselves now people that we get for respect that law. In other words, not just a law for the citizens, now a law for govern all. Now for that the constitution and then for try structure. Not to only pull one thing on what we say it is good, yes, because they tell nobody I'm the country. But till we themselves go say, oh, whoever will afraid for know this law. But all these things, not all for them. The law is not directly for them. The other things they're not directly for them, but they're actually good. Very people don't yourself this is why are they pulling this? You see on a wrong thing. But things where they canopy, then all man they take part. Now they for try look because they bring all this. But I only hope see as time they go until my eye they open now. They say we'll try see because they not go so. It go be a problem for them. They say then go say, this is not like when government elections or parliament or how they say politics was in those days. These are different politics. Oh, therefore, really, there is no way we'll therefore just pull on because something like they can. If they get succession or they know the alternate powers and you they change, you can like this the IG and pull on, they bring this on the IG, you the IG, you careful do things where you say back, you they do them. Then people and they see you in action, like I see the IG for this IG way now the General Ministry of Commerce. I've been watching, I think it was on the 6th when they get problem about rice, na Liberia. The people they been get rice really, but the people that hold them they import this rice, they not been decided for pull them. Just about the same time we get this issue of this rice. But the IG get up that day, then go around and go place to place at the store to Libanese them, harass them. They under when they go at the store, try for film them, then try for even take paper. They under don't go buy the rest. Then they bring and the photocopy. Everything was documented. Now so the guy they snap and take to the last person at the market. It began from the top. So the lady, this is Josephine Davis, this lady. So the point why they say, you know, sit down. He just pass the law, he grab, he go in person, he do something. So anything that you feel say, now there you get for the grab, you go. You get for mobilize things then. I don't say about rights and other things, but certain things and I didn't get for the work, but really big repetition. But when certain things encounter, just you know, they run up and down, physics for say, you, when no stop, go stop you. And that's what he's saying. The last time they run normally when them do that warm up. But it's not that it's wrong thing, but these are the things what you for see where it comes down to how the institution how they understand mortal man in behavior. That make when you go get a certification, you careful no say now certification we are careful deal with mortal man. Now here are the story about so that in case I deal with people, I will not deal with them. When I carry me on case to the government, I will not have government go listen. Then when government go listen, then go no back say the truth is there. Who said don't try you tomorrow when I go left we when I go when I left with and this problem. But if just the chain work, they go on man, they protect, then they pound on no more laws then when I listen and they get now they strike, they get for go arrest una or now they move you then don't say pile no more, they say pile you say they can now you can't create that one back inside it for cargo that you don't go crumble now because of the system we don't they say and so we will do let them hear it with voice or and not be even read what I'm saying now unconstitutional. But let God make so that elections are going to be vehicles of change instead of actual vehicles. Now a roadmap, that thing with the care we go, so we're able to forget a change. Let God bless we. Let God bless we leaders. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Usfriend.
Most welcome, yes, sir.
And Usfriend, in submission for today. Make we come with Tony. Make we hear you. Waiting he gets for you. Welcome on board, Tony to Jones. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for having me. Kusha and Cabo Famulem. I think it's a good thing because if we're everything being equal or everything available, let's say there's a lot of vehicles then where we go able to assist people then this then the way election and day, you could say yes, it's a good thing because but mind you, we not get a proper structure. Sierra Leone faced with a lot of challenges, and you get people them who say them just like we whose friend and Osman Tolly mentioned, we who sign in the register, who sign and get for votes. Like distance apart. And we all see, even when ban make vehicles or move around, how people then can be so challenged in moving from point A to point B. The prices like sometimes can be exorbitant, and probably, especially we don't vote, don't them reach for let you return back vehicle or not there. So it faced with a lot of challenges. So within the police them they try for say is when you look the police ratio for ratio is a population of 7.5 million or 5 point something million on that day where they move around, you need to get more police officers. And if you don't have the logistics, because not only having the police officers them on ground, but you have other logistics. You need vehicle for move with them for point A to point B as well, just like where citizens and get for move. You get other issues that we go for the happen, they get for police, some of the police stations, and of course all not even some, all police station, and they don't have the resources, the adequate resources in policing all those things. So they were looking at advantage when they say, okay, let us implement this. So at least for control crowd, for control, because the more people that they move around, there's a tendency that violence will erupt. There's a tendency say so many things then will happen. People then go they move boxes from point A to point B. Some some subversive movements and go they way in a way take. So they may look at all those things. You understand? Because mind you, the government in power always have that kind of an influence over the population. Over the police. When you look at a scenario wherein they can influence the IG and say, okay, I mean, the passes they want they give or this or that, when I give with party members, there are more passes. Because definitely, if you ban vehicular movements, there's a tendency, definitely, people then when they move that they get forget pass. And you see, even when COVID, they went and do the restriction and thing, you see a lot of people that went on maybe they work for COVID, for NACOVAC, they were having passes where they not get right to have those passes. So when you look at undue advantage over the government in power over those people, that make a feel say Baga able for win because mind you, if we cannot make the thing transparent, you cannot actually able for make them clearly because if you say people are not for move, so many things then the way the government for provide. You can forget at least school bus system on ground we allocate to different areas. You can forget more government buses, the other bus system or private buses, if possible, hire more buses. So if you cannot meet all those criteria, needless for it. So what you will need for is proper sensitization. Let the people then be aware that on that day of election, there's not going to be any ban on movement of vehicle. But if anybody falls victim, I remember when the votes now normally, we see people them talks them because women they try to protect the box now grass feel normally because they see some you kill women they make. The government in power by then, I don't go call name, they count some guy them, some of who get for run. This time in the election between Anes by Kroma and Berewa. Some of who get for one because they were there with knives, this, that, you understand? And when police look at all this scenario, then you understand? I'm not to say the points where they invalid, you understand? They have their own case. It's valid. Because the reason why they do that, mind you, the police, their number one role or function is to protect lives and property. Lives and property. So if they don't have the resources, definitely not that. But again, even where you dey try for do that kind of thing, you get for look on the other side. You understand? So mind the people they just get for be aware on that day because I'm telling you, we election as salon. I don't witness most of the election one witness as salon. Now this past one we the Madam win, but all the other elections them Abraham, I can tell you for free, a lot of things that they wake up happen and then this the day now because people they get free access for move around. You understand? So I mean, it's something they need to take to Parliament. They need for debate on them and see how best they can do, make it become more effective that day. If possible, we say they therefore do that. You understand? Even though it's not constitutional, they therefore do that. They have to provide certain things, in the way therefore be right, therefore put in place for make the movements of people then smooth running. You understand? Otherwise, it's a big challenge for make you ban vehicle. It's a big challenge. It's very, very huge. It's very huge. But just like we say, it's a winning for everybody because people want to move around, people want to forget information. But the thing is, they therefore enforce to people after voting, go na yours. Go listen to radio. But you see pockets of people, them party people, then they gather, and then they go, they give up. Some answer for don't stand as honorable or whatever. Instead of getting man the way they be them. If he say the thing that they go in favor of him, we see what happen na that place na the west. You understand? When they go eat first day, they begin scatter boxes and everything. So based on them things, then they can make the police, then they look at their angle and they say the only way we can control that now way you do that. But they need to put modalities in place. They actually need to put modalities how you will curtail the people that let become violent. Because I'm telling you, this election coming 2023, you see the stake are high. Everybody wants her. The APC they geared up. The SLPP self now want lose to APC. So it's gonna be that kind of a tense situation. So who that will suffer is the innocent people in way not get the opportunities. You understand for protect themselves or get food. It can mean look the kind of inflation we see every day. So in order for make the police able for ensure the life and property are protected, I feel say they get for work with parliament, they get for work with other political parties. They have to get many parties involved for make them find a solution. I mean, that's why most times you see MacP, whether the police and the military they come together during the election term. Because if we get that kind of process, then it go up for avoid beaucoup situations, them beaucoup challenging things that we can happen on that day. But I know Allah we just look at like say the police them, although it's unconstitutional, but they have valid reasons. It's valid, because you see all the time fights and they be this and that, they be people that they go scatter box, and because they get access to movement. I mean that's my own take.
All right, thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome,
Yeah.
everyone.
If you don't listen, I term this. I want to say thanks to Tony, thanks to Usman Toli, and thanks to Usman for their own contribution today. It can go cut because election day, then so not for go up and down with motoka. Court ruling say if they look and ping, that's reason. Because one man not the sidom and pass that kind of law day. Na country outside parliament day. Yeah? No matter waiting, you for go na parliament, you go take, you make the parliament pass the law. Well, it be done no. So when we land say parliament, we don't close that ending. But still yet, the court rules say it's unconstitutional. Because no to parliament pass one man not supposed for do. That's it. Even if the intention was good, in the constitution, if not that, all man go come pass in law. So well, I mean good for the country, I mean good for this place. So now I make a they do. But you get for go through parliament. You get for go through parliament. That's it. If you not go through parliament, you say because you get that kind of power, they able to do and you do. It's unconstitutional. I know say beaucoup things in the way that they do na salo unconstitutional. This back na one. I like you be mean good. It's unconstitutional. If not, people go to do things and they say they mean good. We're not in the books. 23278990991. Then a WhatsApp if you want for be part. 23278990991. Then a WhatsApp. Or you can call 1-646-610-3107. United States. United Kingdom. Now 44-739-8030-402. But if you feel so we don't do well by this topic, then we can end the night in the next 5 minutes. Then we go there back tomorrow. Eh? Okay. Now the judiciary say they name the play too much on social media. So they can't change the topic. And so the minister, I remember what the minister say. The minister say, well, it look like say this fake degree not gree die. The talk not gree die. And he refused for go away. He refused for go away. So because he refused for go away, it look like say, well, the topic, the public interested to go continue. Eh? Alright. But it look like so we don't do well now. There will no need for waste time today. Today we get beaucoup thing behind the scene. We get beaucoup thing for do behind the scene. So we don't capture this done. And I have one left arm. So be it. But on a more serious note, so we hope say the judiciary of Sierra Leone, not so because Africanist press released that to make and car with this so for switching way up. Where I still live at the rent allowance. Eh? Where the give job to 2,365 secondary school teachers them for 29 judges the rent allowance. We I did it. But still you can't get that kind allowance there for rent no more. Then you not do your work. Eh? Then you not do your work. So one na the issue now. When I run maybe they run so I see Janet. Janet I run maybe they run so they go. What? Yeah, I run maybe they run so they go, but anyway, you don't come in. I miss be just for calling. You get 3 minutes, what you get for we?
Okay, so brilliant, groundbreaking ruling today from the court. And one thing we want to say is that I like the idea that an individual to take the institution to court. Mr. The lawyer in America, is his name just escaped me. You always say, Mr. Shillong, Mr. Mohammed Shillong, always lawyers them or ordinary individuals them where government passed a law we not sit well with them we clearly not instituted by parliament for take that institution they to court so within this lawyer don't do today so and I just want to make it clear to everybody it could be anybody it could be the Okada driver on the street and then pass law way like it could go if I go court so not long with almost that so na lawyer number for one no it could be ordinary person we go say waiting we go court for care this kind of law where they don't pass and so what we know like like how during the APC period I'm not being specific I just try for being the law come back where they say the Okada drivers them Okada riders them or whatever you call them they're not supposed to be in a certain area in the city and things like that because of many accidents when they take place and things like that a lot of Okada riders them being get problem with Andy but not a single one of them went to court to say, waiting, let me get the Minister of Internal Affairs go court because of this kind of law we don't pass. Because I would let them butter, it don't can restrict so, some of those things. So today I'm really happy. Why you talk about Assembly taking the police institution to court. What's in this mean? Two things for me. One, that the separation of powers very much alive in Sierra Leone. Number two, the judiciary is independent. Now that's they don't begin look like to we. And for those who are in Sierra Leone, they will begin trust the judiciary and say, well, hey, if I can make kids go court, I know say them judges here. I know say them judges here, then go help me. And before they go, waiting I want to say to everybody is that um we all now with the Sierra Leone, we all for begin abide by the law because we don't begin find out say the court where they sit on, the Supreme Court, they're not a joke, you know. And I want to say thank you to all them justices in there because I mean from Kanda Yomkela institution down to Palo Conte then Kanda Yomkela, we don't begin see a trend, we don't begin appear in our country for say the judiciary maybe not totally independent, but they not begin come through for every one of us. Thank you, Triple A, for having me.
Thank you very much, Janet. Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and who call from, please. Okay, I'll see first one.
Yes, good evening, Triple A. Good evening, each and everyone, the listeners and what the view. I mean, just want to make mine a very short comment. Now that Mr. Mara don't win this case, so what? Like, what thing will get for be the repercussion? Like, what thing will be uh, something where the Sierra Leonean people will forget out of it? Would that guy, the former AG where do that violation, they go get for bring an any court of justice or so that it will be as an example where people then foresee and no say where violate people they write them like this, you get something for answer. Maybe that one they for me help as far as would I get for be accountable for their actions. And the second thing where I want to say where I don't want for run away too much with this kind of judgment. Now the fact that the ruling only come years after, the former government don't come on a power. The real test not come it because if the courts then able for pass a judgment on a sitting government, then we go say yes, we have institutions that are working. But go wait say this government don't come on a power over 4 years. Now the term you can't do a ruling, and the ruling now can become against a former. Let us see more justice for happen na Sierra Leone, in which the sitting government, when they do something wrong, may them tell them say you are wrong. Then we go down to say we don't able for test with institution. Other than waiting would they see so now. I mean, kudos to the gentleman, Mr. Mara, for able for stand up and file accordingly, single-handedly. It is more than a kudos to him. I only hope say he will look for other areas where be say the unfortunate people them will not get ways them for able for come up and speak up on themselves and be able for represent them people and they. But yes, it's a plus because finally the Supreme Court be able for make the judgment, and even though it's of the past, like the current case them within a court, where we know say even in political lines they mean a lot. I can give you an example in which we be no say the judge Fisher be say a party is supposed for get an apology from an individual we been they talk about certain things that were not so acceptable na the community, na the country. So like how does that relate? If that individual they do things on his own, why you not go able for make a judgment based on waiting there na the books on this case here when like a pressing case now a sitting government, well now an opposition way get a lot of ramification with the sitting government. If they can ruling then they're able for calm, then yes, we gonna say we institutions are working. But for now, I go just take this with a grain of salt and walk. I not go run with them too much. I want to thank all the listeners and thanks to the special lawyer who are able for stand on behalf of the Sierra Leonean people. But the question also remains for say, now what? Somebody don't violate in citizen them the right. Waiting next, waiting in get for pay towards that. Waiting get for answer to for violating other people's rights like this. I thank you all for listening and good night to you all.
Thank you very much, Dave.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Our last caller. We don't go safe. No, so. Judiciary is Leone. Una name the play. So the other case them way the eye they watch. We don't say this one take 4 years. But they watch for the other one day. Eh? Okay. I'll tell us say the ruling, more or less, instant like for say, now for lady in the future, IG they no go grab no more by themselves. Eh? And make that same mistake. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. I come in late, my brother. Well, this gentleman, where it is sue, now who that is sue? Now the police, now the inspector general is sue or now the state is sue?
I want for believe saying that thing they be the inspector general under representing the states. But it be sued directly with the
Right, but
inspector general.
now the state, right. Well, if now the inspector general be sue, then now the two and the inspector general now Inga for go after the inspector. But by right, now the state in for sue because the inspector general he been the act on behalf of the state. Just like here, if policeman beat you now, not the police they sue, now the city they sue. Either sue the city of whatever city side they, or you sue the police department, not to the individual they sue, because not to the police officer then, because we all watch that in the talk say that they try for make election they go be free and fair and let people then go move around. But even the way it makes sense, but in other the books. In not the way then are the books where talk say when election they come, therefore do that. Even yeah, Democrat them they try for pass a resolution where them for make election day like holiday. That's not pass. So if not that then one say okay today na election day, we want now holiday. Street clear, everybody for dinner host, you we meet the age limit for vote. Una go vote so that we not go get no hala. But they're not going to sit down no more. Then bring that upon themselves. But since he bring that upon himself, then now the state it be for sue. Then he go after the state because if suppose for collect money, one then detain them, then put on a cell. You know, now the state to me, if you say that the state because that guy they don't go. If you say that guy they go able get collect from because I'm not saying you know they ever collect where you sue in Africa. Where you sue police or you sue the police department or you sue the city of Freetown or you even sue the country of Sierra Leone when they wrong you, you know they will get anything from that. But then small thing, I don't know, maybe the reason we make then people like give this man right. Now with that man they not in a power again. If not been sitting IG like this way they now so let's say na him be behave that way they we still need a power. I wonder if the Supreme Court will find this IG liable or say what he do was wrong. Because I know say that he not in a power again, he not know where he don't go. So then just use as a scapegoat, so okay, law fine and guilty. For make them pat themselves at the back or let people then look there say because we all know how them party at the work. Any one partner when a big top rank person na the government when he commit crime, yeah, we dey see him. We dey see where senator they go on trial. We dey see where mayor they go on trial. Congressman they go on trial. So now they say we dey call parliamentarian. IG, even if he dey na the post, he dey in power at that minute, the nine, he do something way bad, he for go on trial. Maybe in a way that guy they not power again, to IG anymore. He did somewhere, I wouldn't know side, maybe he did on the palm tree right now, they drink for you. And so a law fine and guilty. So that we will make the public, let the public look like say we do job. Now, why for take 4 years? Now small thing this. I told them if I don't prove I told them if I don't cut long term. Just not too long ago, when Joe Biden talk say, then they give 15 more days for restriction of mask. Then the one that wanna like that, then gonna court. The judge just passed the judge just don't pass the order. Say no, Joe Biden not get right. For order that airlines, all man. Because Joe Biden may put restrictions, they give 15 days for airline passengers for put on mask. The one that way they against that, then go to court. It might even take 2 days. The judge passed judgment. Say no, that's illegal. Joe Biden can't do that. Now way the Joe Biden in lawyer then they talk say then they appeal. That judge they in ruling. But enough for take that long. Why it take 4 years? Why it take 4 years? Yeah, Joe Biden, you don't see under the news, how then they call themselves the Justice Department say then they appeal that ruling day. Yeah. It, yeah, enough for take that long. Why it take 4 years? A little bit over 4 years, because this thing happened April 7, 2008. Now they can't get judgment. I don't still, I not get one faith of them people here. One faith, they all they behave, they take advantage from people, because you supposed to sue IG, minister, lawyer, anybody will commit crime or will do something, will not to, if not misdemeanor on a civil lawsuit, you supposed for Brianka and the case, and supposed for judge the case timely, and if not fine, you pay the fine. Now that no more, my brother. Thank you very much.
Very much, Umar. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. Yes, caller, they live on here. You name and who said the call from, please.
This na Santos the call from
Santos, you get
Dubai.
3 minutes. You
Una
get 3
thank you.
minutes.
Yeah. I first of all tell Una thank you the Triple A and the team. This is my first time really for calling at this platform. Yeah, I've done the follow up now for a very long period, but this very thing will happen today. Now like Sierra Leone their eyes and Sierra Leoneans then don't they open their eye. We don't say we don't they suffer big everything so far in other country. For like make a one man at the judiciary begin to take big bold step and say no, this thing not right. We hope and pray that they continue on the other side. And, yes, I'll call back. I'll,
Yeah, I think say the brother be the get call, so let's see if we will get him again before we go left here. Right, I mean, another hour tell we don't go. Well, I'll just see if we can get the brother back. And bring him come on board before we left here. The phone line don't close. Oh no. Another again no. I'll see. Okay, I think say go there back tomorrow. Eh? Try to get the border back, but to not able to get some. Like God. Let us continue. Let us do the right thing according to what's in the Constitution. Till we meet again tomorrow, now so Triple go say, Tata.